Well, what does the fallout look like if America has effectively a sovereign default because they can't pay the national debt, right? You know, they came in, right? If you think about this, it's hard, unless you keep a written log of what's happening, it's very hard to maintain any sense of what is real these days. You kind of have to write down for yourself, ideally on a piece of paper, computer file if you have to, what is currently real, right? So this is all stuff that you get from 1984, you get it from Brave New World, any kind of high-tech fascism. The constant rewriting of reality is a critical tool for making sure the population are controlled. Being able to keep your own ledger of what is real is extremely important. So, on the Epstein stuff, and sorry to drag that in here, we've gone from the White House handing out white binders called Epstein Files Part 1 to a bunch of right-wing influencers to telling everybody that Epstein was some kind of weird democratic conspiracy to try and get Donald Trump. Right? We've seen that happen in real time. Likewise, Doge had to cut $2 trillion a year from US federal spending or the government was going to go bankrupt. And Elon Musk quit after managing to get about $150 billion a year in savings, and I think maybe not even that. So if the reality was real, where Doge had to cut €2 trillion federal spending or they were going to go bankrupt, what then is the plan given that federal spending has not cut? Well, maybe somebody asked Michael Saylor what he would do, and Saylor's plan was, well, look, just get as much Bitcoin as you can, smeared across the American economy, crash the dollar by printing money to pay the national debt, don't worry about inflation, it's only dollar inflation, a Bitcoin is always worth a Bitcoin, and most of the people that you care about will have gotten into Bitcoin before this actually lands, if you get your pedal to the metal now. And that sort of stuff, you think, oh my god, that's insane. And then you go back to 1971 when America went off the gold standard, and then you go back to 1933 where they forcibly stole, legally took, all of the gold in America, all of the physical gold went to the government. And then you go back a little further to 1913 to the creation of the Federal Reserve. Crashing the financial system and doing completely insane stuff to stand it up again is a repeating American pattern, and I'm not real clear that I'm not seeing another instance of that pattern. And of course, the conclusion of that is buy Bitcoin, but then that's always been the game theory of Bitcoin, is that it was one of these kind of ratchet things, and once you begin to see the migration to it, the only thing you can do is get on at whatever price it's at that point. So I think this stuff is getting very seriously weird Mr. Robot conspiracy theory territory. I'm not leaning on any of this as real, but what I'm saying is get a notebook, write down what's happening, read back over the last 3 months to 6 months every once in a while, see how disorienting it is.